Welcome in. Ready to dive deep into Halloween Resurrection. We're talking about the one that took Michael Myers from, Suburban Shadows straight into, early 2000s internet fame.
Oh, absolutely. It's a total time capsule, isn't it?
Buckle up because this one gets meta.
Yeah, this collision of that classic slasher with the then obsession with reality TV. You almost have to admire the audacity, even if it makes you cringe just a little bit.
No kidding. But before we get into the whole reality show mayhem, let's rewind to where H20 left us hanging.
Okay.
Laurie Strode, after everything, she's trying to rebuild her life
Yeah.
in a psychiatric hospital.
Right.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah, and it's not just the trauma of her past, right?
Yeah.
She's got that weight of mistakenly killing that paramedic, convinced it was Michael.
Oh, brutal twist, realizing Michael, he pulled a switcheroo with the uniforms after attacking the guy.
Yeah.
Talk about adding psychological horror on top of everything else.
It's classic Halloween, though.
Ugh.
Playing on those fears of mistaken identity, right? The person you think you can trust. But back to Laurie, even institutionalized, you can feel her waiting, almost expecting Michael to find her.
Oh, totally. She even sets a trap. That whole sequence is so tense, but there's this hesitation when she finally has Michael cornered. That need to be absolutely sure this time.
And it's that split second of doubt that seals her fate, the way Michael uses her hesitation against her, the fall from the roof. Brutal, even for this franchise.
Right. To kill off such an iconic character so early on, such a definitive end for Laurie, you can feel the audience reeling.
For sure.
But that's resurrection for you, subverting expectations right out of the gate.
Yeah, it's like the filmmakers knew they were taking a risk and they just leaned right into it.
Completely.
Okay, so Laurie's story is over. Time to rip the Band-Aid off. Now, let's throw you headfirst into a reality show.
And not just any reality show, but one set in the frickin' Michael Myers house.
Fine.
A year after Laurie's death. You've got to admire the audacity of that premise, even if it feels a little, exploitative.
It's very early 2000s, isn't it? This grab for the next big, edgy thing. And the casting choices, oh man, they certainly reflect that. I mean, Busta Rhymes as the reality show host, Tyra Banks as his co-host.
It's almost surreal watching it now, like a fever dream of early internet culture and horror tropes colliding.
Totally.
But okay, let's break down the players.
Okay.
We've got our group of college students, Bill, Donna, Jen, Jim, Rudy, and Sarah, all ready for their 15 minutes of fame, or infamy as it turns out.
Right. Each vying for that top spot, cameras strapped to their heads, tasked with uncovering clues about Michael's past while spending Halloween night in the house. The producers, they knew what they were doing, tapping into that voyeuristic thrill of watching people confront their fears.
The whole found footage style really, really heightens that effect, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're seeing everything through their shaky cameras, those grainy security feeds. You almost feel like you're intruding on something you shouldn't be seeing.
And it plays on that primal fear of the unknown, right?
Totally.
The shadows, the creaking house, that anticipation of something lurking just out of frame. It's effective, even if it feels a little gimmicky at times.
For sure, for sure. And as they start poking around this creepy old house, they stumble upon some unsettling discoveries. The way the film blurs the lines between reality and what's supposed to be part of the show is actually really clever.
Especially with that hidden room Donna and Jim find.
Yeah.
Fake corpses, staged scenes. It's like they stumbled onto the set of a horror movie, which in a way they did.
But the audience is one step ahead, right?
Yeah.
We know this is a Halloween movie. We're just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And drop it does. Poor Donna venturing into those tunnels. That's where the reality, the real danger becomes horrifyingly clear. Yeah, that whole tunnel sequence is a masterclass in building suspense.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if you can see some of those tropes coming,
Right.
you know something awful is going to happen.
Yeah.
But you're right there with Donna, feeling that claustrophobia, the darkness.
And the suddenness of her death. One minute she's feeling her way through the darkness, the next. Well, let's just say, Michael, he doesn't leave much to the imagination. It's a brutal reminder that this isn't a game anymore. Not even for the audience.
No, not at all. The stakes become incredibly real, incredibly fast. And then there's Freddy, orchestrating this whole thing from behind the scenes. The film makes a really interesting point about how we consume horror, how desensitized we've become to it.
Yeah, he's so caught up in creating a spectacle, in manufacturing those jump scares, that he doesn't grasp the real horror unfolding until it's too late.
It's a dark commentary on reality TV, and that that hunger for increasingly shocking content.
Yeah.
He's willing to put these kids in harm's way for ratings, for profit. Although, to be fair, he didn't expect Michael Myers to actually show up.
Right, but it speaks to that slippery slope, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How far is too far in the name of entertainment?
Exactly.
And speaking of going too far, the body count really starts to climb from there.
Oh yeah, Resurrection does not shy away from the gore, that's for sure. Each death is more brutal than the last. From Bill's discovery to Jen's just shocking end, right in front of Rudy, Sarah, and Jim.
And poor Jim. Thinking he can fight back against Michael, you almost have to admire his courage, even if you know it's a futile effort. The way Michael dispatches him is, well, it's one of the most memorable kills of the franchise, let's just say that.
It's a testament to the filmmakers. Even with the reality show concept, they still managed to deliver those genuinely shocking, gruesome moments that Halloween is known for.
Totally.
Yeah.
And amidst all the chaos, we have Sarah, who manages to evade Michael for a surprisingly long time.
Yeah, she's smart.
She's resourceful, using the house to her advantage. And then there's that added layer of tension with Deckard watching the live feed.
It's almost like a proto-screen life horror element long before, it became a genre staple. That sense of being watched, of someone like bearing witness to these atrocities, but unable to do anything to stop them.
It's chilling. You're both rooting for Sarah to survive.
Yeah.
And dreading what might pop up on that screen next.
Totally.
And just when you think it can't get any more intense, Freddy stumbles upon Michael attacking Sarah, and something in him, it just snaps.
Yeah.
The goofy showman facade drops away, and he steps up to protect her.
I love that.
Which leads to one of the most unexpected showdowns in the entire franchise.
Right.
Busta Rhymes versus Michael Myers. Who could have predicted that?
Right. It's such a weird tonal shift, but somehow it works.
I know, right?
You've got Freddy using his knowledge of the house, even turning the electrical system against Michael. It's more inventive than you'd expect from like a climactic showdown in a Halloween film, that's for sure.
Yeah, it kind of speaks to like the film's willingness to just experiment.
Yeah.
Even
if those experiments don't always land perfectly, you've got to give them credit for at least trying to subvert those expectations.
Oh, absolutely. And in the end, Freddy gets Sarah out of that burning garage, leaving Michael seemingly defeated. But this is Michael Myers we're talking about.
Right.
So, of course, the movie does not end there.
Yeah.
We get that classic Halloween gut punch in the final moments, the morgue scene, that slow pan to Michael's supposedly lifeless body, and then those eyes snap open.
Chills.
Cheers every time.
Every time.
It's such a perfectly executed ending, leaving you with that lingering sense of unease.
Yeah.
Did he actually survive the fire? Is this some like supernatural resurrection? A hint at something more than human. We're left to ponder, and that ambiguity is what keeps fans debating, even now.
I think it's really a testament to the enduring power of the Halloween franchise, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
That even when a film, isn't universally loved, it can still spark a conversation, still like tap into those primal fears.
Resurrection is definitely a product of its time, for sure.
Yeah.
The reality TV craze, that early internet aesthetic.
Yeah.
But it's also a fascinating exploration of voyeurism.
Yeah.
Our hunger for the macabre.
And it asks some like uncomfortable questions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About how far we'll go for entertainment, how we become complicit in the spectacle, even when it's, rooted in violence and exploitation.
It's a wild ride, no doubt about it. You've got your share of over-the-top moments, some questionable creative choices. But at its core, it's still Halloween. Michael's still out there.
Yeah.
Lurking in the shadows, waiting for his next victim.
And whether you love it or love to hate it, Halloween, Resurrection, definitely left its mark on the franchise.
Oh, for sure. So what did you think of our deep dive into Halloween Resurrection? Let us know in the comments below. Did you find it a refreshing take on the franchise or a step too far? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more spooky deep dives.